for tuning in again. We're here doing the things, living the life, being human, being a soul. Sometimes feeling trapped inside of a human body in this weird human world with all these weird human things that don't make much sense to my soul. And on some level they do, because I'm like, oh, okay, peace and acceptance of what is, and this is strange, but we're here for a reason. And I don't totally know the reason, but I do. I feel like the reason is to be and to love and to show up, to simplify, to exist, to be kind, to spread light, to spread joy, to just like, you know, like play, to be like a child again. You know, they say, whoever wrote this in the Bible, which I have an interesting relationship to, and I am, but okay, so, you know, they say like to enter the kingdom of heaven, you must become like a child again. And I do, and just in general, I feel like, you know, children, they're onto something, right? They know they're themselves before the programming and societal expectations and pressures, and before the fear of judgment and trying to fit in. Like, you know, children come into this world curious and wanting to express and play and imagine and create. And, you know, we all go through things, and there's degrees of trauma that we all experience that complicate our expression and our ability to come into the world in a way that feels good and that is received, and that we are receiving back what we need. Because this world there's a lot of tragedy, suffering, sickness, just trauma all around, everywhere. You know, you don't have to look very much to find it. And but amidst all of that, you know, there is still beauty and joy and peace and fun and potential and the ability to express and create something new out of that which is breaking and crumbling. You know, we can repurpose and make something out of the rubble. Humans don't need much to create a lot. It just kind of takes like the mindset and the will and the drive and the devotion to growing into something bigger than self, to a higher power, to a collective, to a community, to a family, to something that is beyond one individual. So, you know, when we can align ourselves with that soul and that spirit and integrate in this weird human world of strange things, okay? Because, like, it's normal, right? It's normal. I go to the grocery store, I have all these options, and there's these moving machines on wheels. My mom used to call them bombs on wheels. Love that. But, you know, they're just like, in their little time travel capsules, you know, come on. Like, before these cars were invented, we got by foot or by horse, by wagon. Like, it would take so long to get anywhere. And now we can just, like, zoop, zoop, and then fly, and then, like, you know, just all the things. It's just, I don't know. If you really look at anything close enough or just long enough, it's pretty wild and profound that anything exists at all as it is. And so, you know, if we could just look at life through a lens and a filter of like wonder and awe of like, wow, and to be curious and to question, to, okay, full circle, coming back into like being like a child again. What does that mean? What does that look like? How does that feel? And even like where it comes to a lot of religious stuff and Christianity and the Bible, and like I said, I have an interesting relationship to all of this. Like my parents are Christian, born and raised like with that influence. And I've had a lot of frustration with certain beliefs and judgments and ideas of God and Christ. And I've come to find my own relationship to Christ and to the Spirit and to God, whatever you want to call it, that I don't feel fits within just one organized religion. Like, any system, there's flaws within any system, you know, and in its essence, it's not inherently corrupted, but humans somehow manage to corrupt a lot of what they touch. If they're not in alignment fully, and even if you are in alignment with God and source and spirit, it's like we're still flawed and we still have, like PTSD on some level, or traumas, or dysregulated nervous systems, or belief systems that are maybe so like rigid and like fixed on something, when really like we're creatures of like comfort and habit at times, and so that can get in the way of expansion and growth. And so I see within a lot of organized religions that there's a lot of tradition that I do not fully agree with or align with, or it doesn't sit right with me. I feel very off about it. And it's interesting. My last video I posted, I had like a few different people like speak about Jesus and post about I just found really interesting. I'm like, why? What made you say that about my video? What was it that I said that you felt inspired or called to speak on and bring Jesus up? And so I felt kind of called to speak on a little bit with this. And even like sometimes I make these videos, I don't totally know where I'm trying to go with it or what I'm going to say. I just kind of like, all right, I have some things, let's unpack, let's talk. Like, I'm driving, I have a little space to myself, and I like to process different thoughts and feelings, and I've got a lot that I would like to talk about, and I talk about one thing and it's related to something else. So it's like, okay, I just spoke on this thing, so it's connected to that thing, and it's like blah 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 blah, and so I'm learning how to slow down and just like, so I'm gonna do that right now, because I do get kind of like, I get all fired up and excited, and like I'm like, there's all these different things I want to talk about and share, and it's like I don't fully subscribe to any one thing. Like okay, maybe I do. Love, okay? And what is love? That's a good question, Ellie. And love to me it's beyond words. Like, I've written poetry about it. I have, like, for me, love is beyond just like what, like, it's like almost everything. Like, if we want to see love, like, love is like what, so cliche, but it's not, and I'm getting a little frazzled right now because I feel like I'm trying to say everything at once, and I feel like that's often how I am. I just have so much I'm trying to get out and release all at the same time, it seems like, and because it's like there's so much, okay, just period, and there's so much I could say, there's so many different topics I could talk about, and what is it that is in this moment, like, the thing. And so love, okay, the heart, the soul, the center, which is beyond religion, it's beyond words, it's beyond man's ability to transcribe. And like, yes, there's words and writings and poems and books and stories that encapsulate and kind of put together this image or this story or this idea of something that is inherently beyond words. It's a feeling, it's an experience, it's more than a feeling, it's like, it's an essence, it is everything. Beyond separation, beyond division, beyond the wars and the conflict of two things or more that are up against each other. It's like the all-encompassing everything. To me, okay, we all got our own beliefs and our own ideas of what God or spirituality is, and for me, like, I find more comfort in my own unique path of spirituality that is my own, like, Taoism, if you will, like that, I believe everyone has their own unique way and path to the light and through the shadow, and to God, to goddess, to source, to life, capital L, to spirit, to the soul. We all have our own journey, and it's frustrating for me when I feel like people try to force or push their beliefs or their ideas of what it should look like to someone else. If you don't do this, you're going to hell. If you don't do this, you're not living righteously. It's like, who are you to say? Okay, we're all ordained on some, I have the right to speak and say what I feel and think. I have a voice, I have an experience, I have, my own story that is, I believe everybody's story is valuable. So yes, mine is valuable. And there's this part of me that wants to shrink myself and make myself small and quiet myself, where it's like, oh, what do you know? What is your right to say this? Like, I have my own unique connection to the spirit of the earth, to the spirit of the ethers that is beyond the physical reality. And then even it was funny, and I'm going to come back on here and respond to these comments. And, I think I want to have conversations and dialogue here. Like, I want comments. I want people to share their experience in response to what I've shared. I want to hear feedback, and I want to get better at responding too and being able to have that conversation. It's not always been easy for me. I get kind of anxious sometimes with like a feeling of like contradiction or conflict, or if like I don't totally agree with something, or if it's like I just want peace. Like I try to remain as neutral as possible, which, I'm just kind of driving around. Let me just stop here for a second before I go home. But yeah, someone said something about like staying away from tattoos or something, and I'm like, did you see? Like, why are you talking about my like tattoos? Like, what are you trying to say? Like, I just don't get people sometimes. And like, full circle to the beginning of this video, I'm like, things feel so strange and weird to me sometimes, or I'm like, I don't get this. I do not understand. And I want to understand. I really, really want to get it. And I also have to accept that there's some things I just won't understand. And it's just not going to make sense. And that's okay. But, to me, my tattoos are very special to me. Like, I put a lot of intention and thought into it. Was an act, like a prayer. It was a ceremony of some kind, of like envisioning and infusing something into my skin that means something to me, that I'll look at, that reminds me, of what my intention was. And to so yeah, I don't know, I found that kind of funny. Someone said something about that. I'm like, what is why have people always got to be telling other people how, like, what to do and how to live? Like, I don't get that. Like, I don't like that. And I think, like, as children, that's what most of us experience, is some older person, like a caregiver or a teacher or someone that was like, this is the way, this is the truth, this is how we should live, this is what a fact is, this is truth, and we're just, and it's almost like, okay, now I'm going to grow up and do that to other people too, because like, that's what I know. But come on, can we grow out of that, please? Can we just let people be and like see and accept them as they are? And yes, we can offer advice and insight and like words of some kind, which are great. Like, we all need to hear outside perspective sometimes. Please, yes, I do. Like I said, I want feedback, I want to hear, but like at the same time, like, I just want to be trusted that what I'm doing and who I am and how I'm living is what I'm supposed to be doing. Like, I think we all just need to feel like trusted and believed in, that we can do it. That like, when someone's doubting your ability to like function and do things, or is like, it's good to be questioned. It's good to be, I go back and forth where there's these contradictions between things, and that's okay. I'm really like, feel like a big thing in my life, and what I'm trying to be and do is to be that like that balancing force, that neutral, that place that can witness all of the contrasting elements and the polarity and the duality, and find that middle point so it's not so extremely contrasting and against itself. Like, can we bring it all in, okay, for a big old group hug, and somehow like repair this rift and this broken energy between things that are different, like just acceptance. And I don't know, obviously, like, then there's like, okay, well then what about pure evil, like the thing that is like the disconnect, the dissonance that's fueling and funding wars and all of the horrific, awful things that are happening on this planet. Like, how do we navigate that? Like, how do we end that? What is that? I got so many questions. Okay, I got questions, I got answers, I've got more questions, I've got answers, I've got a lot that I'm grateful for, yeah, so just like, okay, zooming in, there's all these things going on, whoa, like, bring it back in to self, to center, to my body, to my breath, to my ability to like regulate my nervous system, my body, my reality, so that I can share peace with others, so that I can offer joy and something that is going to assist in comfort and growth and safety, trust, security. Like, when people feel safe, they're able to just like expand and grow out of whatever it is. Like, when we feel squished and squeezed and pressured and pushed it's like that's a force. The things don't, you don't want to do things with force. You know, something's not fitting, like the piece isn't going in there. You don't just jab it in there and like, you know, force is not the best thing to do things with. So we gotta sometimes just like flow and ease into things. And I keep like, I slouch, I'm naturally just like, I'm really trying, it's hard because this chair is not like driving with like, see, it's kind of just a weird, I don't know, it feels, when I got this clip in the back of my head, it's like digging into the chair. Okay, so yeah, speaking about zooming back into the body, to the breath, like finding my own relationship to myself, to others, and being receptive and open to other people's perspectives and beliefs and thoughts and feelings, and also trusting myself to know what is good and right for me, and to breathe and to tune inward, to listen to what's going on within me. And, you know, I didn't talk about the specifics of why I've been stressed in my video, why things have been heavy and I've been grieving and things have been a lot, you know. And yes, there is comfort I can find in the spiritual mother and father, and I do. And I have that, and it's there. At the same time, that doesn't take away from the intensity of watching someone you love suffer in the most pain they've ever been in their lives, and there's nothing you can do about it. And you're watching them wither away and, like, die, it feels like. You're watching them confront death, the potential of death, and yeah, so I don't know. I made a video about my sister, and then I didn't come back on here since, and then I posted another video, and I was all upbeat and caffeinated and on my way to have the first little bit of personal time I'd had in a while, and I was feeling really good, and like, you know, and even now it's like, okay, I just went to the grocery store. I made myself look cute, because like, I have a few moments by myself without my kids. They're hanging out with my brother. I want to feel cute. I want to feel good, because I have those brief moments of feeling like a normal human, you know, where I'm just doing normal human stuff, right? Because I'm just working all the time and caretaking either my sister or my kids, and it's been a lot. And so I'm just learning how to take better care of myself and miss taking care of others. And yeah, so I'm going to continue doing that. And I also hope that that is what we all can do during these very stressful, strange times where there's just so much going on. Feel called to share the film. This film movie says like more than I can, I feel like. But it's called Everything, Everywhere, All at Once. Everything, everywhere, all at once. Please check it out. It's just like, it's it. Like, that's it. That feels like, when I watched it, I've never cried and laughed more in my life. And cried while I was laughing, laughed while I was crying. Like, it was like so many emotions and thoughts and just like an experience that I really needed, and I feel like a lot of people may need, and could benefit from. So yeah. All right, I gotta get my groceries inside, and yeah, and I pulled up, there's this cemetery by my parents' place that I've been living, and I'll sometimes stop here if I'm needing just a moment before I pull into the driveway, because sometimes my kids will run out and see me, and if I'm, you know, just on the phone or making a video or something, I just want to, like, you know, have that moment before I shift in gears over there. But yeah, I find peace in cemeteries, actually. Like, there's this melancholy solitude, a feeling very alone, because you don't often see people here, but at the same time you're seeing the existence of all these people and their names and their lives on the surface level, right? Like, I know that person, I know their name, I know they existed, they were here, and just honoring like the past and those who have passed, and to just be able to witness like death, alongside just like my life existing here and like the layers of time, you know, it's and just honoring the lives that were here through just like observing that they're here and that I have respect for all people and you know, every person here had a unique story in life and trauma of some kind they went through, like a war or just like there's so many wars happening like within people and then in the world around, and there's also peace. But everyone's gone through a lot. Every person that exists on this planet is going through a lot. Every person that has existed has been through a lot, and it's just a matter like how can we bring everybody into the light of knowing that we share that similarity of struggle and grief and pain, and keep our humanity and connect with others and see them for, you know, that child, the innocent child at their core that they were born into this world as, that was impacted by a lot of things out of their control that made them and bruised them and scarred them into what they ended up being. That might, you know, I don't know. Yeah, I do know, but I also, yeah, so okay, yeah, groceries need to go in. Gonna go move forward, but thanks for listening. I wish you peace and self-regulation, co-regulation, coping mechanisms that are constructive and sustainable for long-term health of the mind, body, spirit, and connection to self and others and community and family, and just feeling like you belong somewhere. I wish for all of us to feel belonging and connection and safety and peace and love and joy and beauty and all, and to just witness all these things. And you know, I personally, when I'm getting outside, going being with the tree, you know, observing the intricacies of life around and just like being present, fully present, and just like observing, listening within, listening around, and just being wherever it is. Yeah. So yeah, thank you. And yeah, till next time.